audience. So, if there is one thing that COVID really messed up when it hit America in March of 2020, it is the schools in America. Every single school district was hit, some differently than others. At least for my school district, everyone was thrown for a loop. Every student, faculty, teacher, they didn't know what to do. So we were all just pushed online, and it was very much so trial and error. My name is Timothy Lee, and I have been ever since I was in elementary school up until my sophomore year when COVID hit, I was public schooler. However, ever since then, now I am an online schooler, and I will continue to be so until I transfer to a different college in a completely different state. I feel like there is a decent argument to be made that online schooling can be better, if not just equal to public schooling. I feel like that it does not get the recognition that it deserves in society, especially with the negative connotations that COVID really gave it in 2020 through whenever COVID was at its worst. For online schooling, you have the cost, the great accessibility, as well as a good self-disciplinary teaching it can teach you, as well as my own experiences with it that I can talk about. So again, I feel like the argument to be made is there, and I will try and state that. So first off, whenever anyone thinks about schooling, they think about the cost. For K through 12, those schoolings are all paid through the taxpayers' money. That is not any different through online schooling. The only difference you might have to take into account is purchasing internet if you don't already have it, as well as purchasing a laptop if the school does not give you a laptop itself. For schools such as Cali, the cost is roughly the exact same as being in person. One can argue that being online is cheaper due to the fact you're not wasting money on gas and you're not wasting time just going to a class, as well as not wasting money on staying in the dorms. If you want to stay home, do it online. That does add up and save a lot of money over time. As well as the cost that comes with great accessibility being online. As stated by Emma Victoria of ef.org, online schools open up formal education for just about anyone that can't leave their full-time commitments. Full-time commitments being children, work, anything that they can't just drop and go to school to do. They can take care of that and then fit in their online schooling when they are able to do so. So with that accessibility also comes a great deal of responsibility. As I stated, self-discipline is a very important thing when it comes to online schooling. If you don't have self-discipline, at least just a moderate amount, you will fail online schooling. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, you will fail. You need to be able to structure yourself accordingly as to what you are going to do throughout the week, throughout the semester, your entire school year. So, according to the US News, a NEPC article reported that online schools had a graduation rate of 50%. And if that sounds bad, that's because it is. That is atrocious. The national average for graduating high school in America is 84%. That's a 34% decline. And the biggest reason for that is distractions. People have their cell phones, video games, what have you, want to go out, hang out with friends, and they forget about their online school or put it off or procrastinate it. So they need that self-discipline to sit at the computer and do their work for however long it takes them. As well as that, June Ann, who is an assistant professor of learning sciences at University of California, believes that the most important part of school and learning in general is the teacher-student connection, which that is a great point. That is one of the many faults and qualms with online schooling. You don't have much connectivity with your teachers. There's only so much they can do while keeping an in-person class as well. You have your emails, you have your phone calls, Zoom calls, what have you. That's about it. So again, you need that self-discipline and you need that independence to look at your work and do it yourself. So as well as that self-discipline, how was I self-disciplined? How am I self-disciplined? Like I said, look at my work at the beginning of the week and I try to do it. Sometimes I'm guilty of procrastinating it, but most people do that anyway. Not an excuse, but still. Not only that, but there's a lot of hesitancy that I even had regarding social life. Social life, people see that as if you go to online school, you will have no social life for some reason. There's that stigma around it that if you're away from your friends at public schooling, you will not talk to them ever again for some reason. When the point of school is to do school, not just sit there and talk to your friends. And if they really are your friends, you'll be able to hang out with them outside of school. So that point, while it is valid and you might not see your friends as much, school is for school, not for friends. And lastly, the part that drew me to online school in general was the pacing. Like Callie does, you get your work at the beginning of the week, it's due Sunday for most classes, and you can structure it accordingly. And even as it was said by Ilya Jones of Blue Sky Online School, an entire online school, paced learning is ideal for those students who prefer to follow their own timeline. And I am like that. I like to be independent in my own schooling, not have to rely on people if I don't have to, and just do it when I'm able to. So, like I said, the cost for online schooling is fairly similar, not much more, not much less than public schooling, as well as the accessibility to people with internet is very accessible. And it teaches you great self-disciplinary skills. And that is what I have been able to experience in my life so far with online schooling, is what I will continue to experience in the next couple of years. And so online schooling, while it might not be right for everyone, it's right for me so far. And I feel as though it does not get the recognition it deserves by society and has far too many stigmas about it. Thank you. Audience again.